Head of the COVID-19 task force, Abdias Samuel, said Wednesday that they are considering revisiting the COVID positivity rate threshold for cruise passengers on ships due to call on St. Kitts. Mr. Samuel explains how the positivity rate threshold works.
What happens, even before pre-COVID situation as reported by public health, ships have to give their maritime declaration forms. They have to do this, I think, 24, 48 hours before they come into the port, next port. And if they meet the criteria, regulations for the particular port that they're going to, then they will be granted pratique, meaning that yes, they can dock and they can disembark, etc. Now, if they don't meet that and there's a concern, then they will not be granted pratique. Not being granted pratique means that they will not be able to dock at our ports and disembark, etc. St. Kitts Nevis, as adopted by our Federal Cabinet of Ministers, has a threshold of a 1% positivity rate on the ship. With that 1% positivity rate, if the ship does not meet that 1% positivity rate, then that means the ship may not be able to dock.
Mr. Samuel said the consideration of increasing the threshold will be determined by the government of St. Kitts Nevis.
Where do we want to go? We have been discussing in terms of increasing the threshold. I cannot say to what number because that has to take another round of discussions, and then this has to be taken to Cabinet. And the Federal Cabinet will determine whether we are at a stage where we can absorb that particular risk in the country by increasing the threshold of the positivity rate percentage in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is our understanding when we engage about what is happening in the region, in particular in the other OECS countries, we also learned that Bahamas, in particular, talking about the English speaking, Bahamas has a 2% threshold. So some research is going to be done to see what has been the impact of having a 2% threshold in your country.
Earlier this week, in an interview with SK Newsline, businessman in the tourism sector, Maurice Widdowson, said this threshold should be revisited as a lot of precautions and mitigating measures are being implemented by the cruise ships before they arrive at the destination.
That figure of 1% judgment has been 1% for years. And that 1% generally before COVID applied to onboard things like gastroenteritis and things like that, which the boat, really didn't react to in any great physical way. But with the advent of COVID, the boats have reacted phenomenally and spent literally hundreds of millions on isolated sections of the boat, completely changing the air conditioning, having full-time doctors on board the boats, 24-hour guaranteed isolation, and some boats are doing daily spit tests for rapid testing.
Mr. Samuel explained that currently the task force has been flexible in allowing some ships to dock if they have a positivity rate of up to 1.7%, which is slightly above the threshold. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.